Yeah. Welcome back to PrincesPoddy, live and direct. You know me, the one and only Prince. Obviously, today I'm going to say that. All right, no, but I'm going to say that then after.
Introduce myself.
Cool.
Got it.
All right, yeah, cool. Welcome back to PrincesPoddy, live and direct. Me, myself, Prince.
Naya.
Qualms.
So obviously, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And whatever you lot want to see, make sure you just comment down below. Today we're just going to just switch it up a bit and just speak about upbringing. We've all three of us had 3 different upbringings, you see. So obviously we're just here just to break it down and see if anyone can relate to any of our upbringing. So just how it's made us the people we are today, you see, the upbringing. Obviously I've grown up without 2 parents at times, you see. So when I've grown up, my dad wasn't there with me from about 10. So for about 5-6 years, I've grown up with just one parent, mum being my mum and my father at the same time. So I feel like I've lacked that father figure in my life at times. So that's why it's just like it's affected me in the sense that when I've grown up, there's certain things that I'd want to speak to my dad about and he wasn't there, and speaking to my mum about it, you just won't get the same answer, I don't think, which I appreciate my mum, but I think at times you need that father figure as much as you need that mother figure as well, because you can't ask your dad certain questions that you'd ask your mum and vice versa, I think. But then I've had to do that because of the way my upbringing's been. What do you think, Nice? Yours have been a bit different?
Similar in the sense of, for probably the first 3 to 4 years I was with both my mum and my dad, like living together. Then obviously my dad went away, went to jail. So for like 7 years, obviously grew up with just my mum in it. My mum, my brother and my sister. So it was like, I didn't really like going over there and see my dad in jail, because it's not nice to obviously see your dad there. So it's like kind of our relationship I wouldn't say, I don't even know what the word is, but it wasn't as close, you know what I mean?
You wish it was closer.
The bond wasn't as close, because obviously he was over there, I was here like growing up, so I depended a lot on my mum. So that was difficult, obviously, like you said, not having a father figure around all the time. So you got to learn a lot of stuff by yourself. You got to kind of like cope with the world by yourself and kind of learn how to be a man. Obviously I had a big brother, which helped. But obviously when he come out, then me and him just obviously got our connection back, and obviously he was a great dad to me. But for the years of maybe I'd say between 5 and 12, he went there.
You see, when he first went away, did you like realize like where he is? Because sometimes you might be like, oh, on vacation. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously at the time, like the year before he went away, my mum and my dad split up, so they worked together anyway.
Oh, so it was like co-parenting.
They were co-parenting at the time. Obviously, like obviously I know even myself, like co-parenting has its ups and downs. So it's like they might not be talking one week, might be talking next week, whatnot. Yeah. But it was co-parenting, and I knew that they were both there. Then obviously I just clocked like, oh, he's not about no more. Like, where's this guy gone, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But obviously I was like 5, 6. I remember even going like from now, like man was like went to the court. Like obviously I didn't go in the courtroom, but I was there in it.
Yeah.
Obviously I was looking after my youngest brother, obviously, and my stepmom at the time was there. But I didn't really clock what's going on in the sense of like I know what's happening. I know in the sense of you're not gonna be here, but I didn't know why.
Also, I didn't know as you've got older, that's when you start realizing, so this is where I was. And
then obviously you build a kind of like, not resentment, but it's like a bit of like where you at kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like where you at, and obviously no fault to his own. As I'm older, I understand like stuff happens. You know what I mean? And me and him are best friends, like close as can be. Like that's my dog. But at the time, I'm thinking like, where you at? And the worst thing used to be was like when I used to go see him, he used to try do the father thing in like that space of an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think it's too much as well. And there's too much you can do. There's too much he can't do in that hour. And it's just like, for example, if you wanted to go football, it's
no, but not even that. I'd be like, he used to try to discipline man in that hour.
That's what I'm about to say. Did you ever feel like, obviously not a disrespect thing, but same way like, how can you tell me this? And do you know what I mean?
100%. I feel like he used to like overcompensate for being away.
Yeah.
In that time. So he'd be trying to teach me all the lessons which you could probably space out in that 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like manners, respect, But over the top, obviously, I was always a good kid. Like, I wasn't a bad kid. You know what I'm trying to say? So he didn't need to do that. But I felt like because he was away, when he see me, it was like I need to install everything I want to install into him now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And then obviously in my head, when I'm starting to get a bit older, I'm thinking, not who's this guy, but really like you can't really tell me now because you're not there from a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? So it was kind of one of them ones. So it was tough, but worked out for the best. You know what I mean?
What about you, Kwame? Because it seems like both your parents grew up with you, you've been in the same household as them.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, they've always just worked hard, and I feel like I've got a lot from them in the sense of just chase your dreams and gotta work hard, really. I don't know, like, for me,
Do you think it's helped you become the man you are today? Because you've had both the father figure and the mother figure.
Yeah, 100%.
Crucial times when you're growing up as well, innit?
100%, like, obviously I might not speak to them about stuff like deep with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, obviously they're very disciplined. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I always have manners and respect, and I've learned a lot from them. Do you know what I mean? My dad's, both of my parents, they're both hardworking. So they've always just taught me from young, like, if you want something, you gotta work hard, and obviously just don't compromise for anything, really.
Yeah, or for anyone as well.
I was gonna ask, like, do you feel like seeing their relationship and like how long it's lasted, does that change your mindset on your relationships in the sense of like, do you feel like you want that same husband and wife kind of family. Kind of?
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, like for a lot of my boys, and obviously when we speak about relationships and whatnot, obviously a lot of them have grown up with a single parent, so they might not see it go all the way with their relationships. They might think like, obviously with the new generation and whatnot, they might think obviously a lot of marriages break down, etc. But whereas with me, I have a different view on it, because obviously my mum and dad, they've been together for so many years. So for me, it's like, that's what I would want and that's what I believe in.
Yeah, because I feel like, because my mum's not with my dad now and she's with my stepdad, I think it's like, as I've grown up, it's like seeing your mum by herself. It's just, I think that's impacted me for any relationship I'll possibly get in, because it's like, if my dad wasn't there, then as you grow up, you think it's fine, like, not fine, but because it's an everyday thing, innit? You just wake up with your mum there and you just get on with your life. So I think it's different and it's difficult, because if you haven't had that father figure, for example, when you want to talk about relationships, when you just speak to it with your mum, obviously she's going to try be as neutral as possible, but obviously she's going to favour the females, I think, personally. So but when you need that hard, like, talk when you can't have that with your mum as you would with your dad, because I think it's just too different. They play two different roles, parents, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
What do you think, Naya?
Nah, 100%. Obviously, like you're saying about the conversations you can have with your mum and your dad. Like, me and my mum was close. Like, I was a mummy's boy. Obviously, dad wasn't around as much because of obviously where he was. But I was a mummy's boy in the sense of, like, I love my mum. I could speak to my mum about anything. Like, she was proper open. Like, it was like an open forum. Like, I didn't feel like there was any question I couldn't ask her. And I feel like she just gave me the most honest, upfront answer. And I feel like that's what helped me. Obviously, with my dad coming out now, and obviously I'm becoming, like, I'm 12, you know, becoming a young man. And I feel like there's a time and a place where you always need your dad. There's a time and you place, especially in them years. So them years where you're in high school, you're learning more about girl, you're learning more about, like, situations on road or how to carry yourself in certain situations. You need your dad. And obviously that was the perfect time when my dad's come out and he taught me so much stuff. So much stuff that I didn't know. So much stuff that maybe my mum hasn't experienced herself, so she couldn't tell me. Not like she was holding back any information, but she couldn't tell me. Do you get what I'm saying?
She could tell you what she's gone through.
Should they tell me what she's gone through? My dad's been through millions of experiences, and I try to learn from his experiences. You know.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think with me as well, it's like, but I think when you're younger, at them ages where you're like 4 or 5, you still want your dad there as well as your mum, obviously, because you're still going to get that emotional and loving from your mum, but you still need that tough talk when you are growing up from a young age. So I feel like, because when my dad wasn't there from, like, just before I started high school, and because it, like, all of high school it wasn't really there, it's like I just had to become my own man at, like, the age of 10, 11, and I feel like that has helped me become the person I am today, because obviously I've had to mature myself up at a young age, but I feel like I still needed my dad for that, for them tough conversations, for, like, when you're growing up, like, what do you expect from me? And I feel like because I'm a man now, it's like he's still trying to be a part of my life, but it's just because in my head it's just like, you wasn't there when I really needed you. I feel like that just had an impact on me, that I will forever carry, because it's like when I needed my dad when I was a younger age, he wasn't there, and like that's why I respect my mum.
How was that for you, in like with your younger siblings?
I'm gonna say, are you the oldest in your household?
Yeah, I'm the oldest in my household, so I've always had to be like the father figure. So, but I do struggle because I didn't have that father figure when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has mentally impacted me. That I've had to, at a younger age, I've had to be a man and I had to look after my little brother at ages that you shouldn't really need to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, more responsibility.
But I had a lot more responsibility on my shoulders at like 12, 13, looking after my little brother, making sure he eats and stuff like that. And I feel like, obviously I'm grateful because as I get older, you can, obviously it's helped me out and I'm a bit more caring, but I feel like the responsibility at that age is too much. I'm going through stress as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having to work 2 jobs to feed me and my little brother. So I feel like I'm grateful, do you know what I'm saying? Because like when you sit back and you think about your life experiences, it's just like I can learn off my mum, because she was very hardworking in the sense that she didn't let anyone like downplay her or talk bad on her, because she was in a hard situation, 2 kids, she went by herself at times. So I feel like if I was gonna have kids, I'd like to be just one girl, just same kids.
Yeah.
And like nice, good household. But obviously, we all know that doesn't always work out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that obviously, I feel like the way we live now, a lot of like 2 parents households isn't common as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
But I also think on the flip side, I think like when people go through like that, like adversity and that hardship, sometimes it brings the strongest people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People that have them single parents and have a tough upbringing, they'll be the people that make it highest in the world, because some people might fall to the trap and kind of think like, oh, I've had a bad start, I'm not gonna make it nowhere. But some people use it as motivation to get out of the situation. Do you know what I mean? Like some people will have that same energy and that same drive to be like thinking like, all right, cool, I haven't been the richest, I've got 1 parent in a sense, but I'm grateful for what I've got.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be the guy to get out the ends and make something of my life.
But
do you know what I mean?
odds.
Beat the odds. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like it works both ways in the sense of, for me, obviously, even my own situation. Obviously, I'm not with the mother of my child. You know what I mean? So you laughing because I can say BM.
I don't know what you was gonna say.
I was not with the mother of my child, so obviously. But I know the role I need to play in my daughter's life, and she's always gonna have 2 parents. You know what I'm trying to say? And I pride myself on being around and doing the role of a dad. Do you know what I mean? With my daughter, so I know she's gonna get everything she needs from me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So she's never gonna have that thing of, oh, I could have wanted this and wanted that, and like my dad's not around. Like, that's never gonna happen, because I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna make sure, maybe because I didn't have it at some points, no fault of my dad's, but I need to make sure that
don't
I pattern up. Yeah, of course.
I think that's what's most important ultimately. Like, of course, like you want to grow up with both parents, etc. But if you're both providing, you're both like, not like they'll forget about it, because obviously they're always gonna think about these sort of things like, oh, why aren't my parents together?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're just giving them the best opportunity possible, then that's all you can do really as a parent.
No, 100%, and that's what I kind of feel like. A lot of parents, a lot of young parents, maybe it's like, obviously it's difficult. Like some people might be in a difficult situation. Like obviously I've got a really good support system to help me in if anything was needed, in the sense of like time or anything like that. But some people don't. Some people are not in my situation. But their supporting me helps me give the most to my daughter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's like, what's the saying? Like, it takes a village to raise like a child or something like that. You need everyone helping you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people don't have that. Some people literally by themselves.
Yeah.
So obviously, hats off to people that are like that and like still doing the most for the child, because it's not easy if you're by yourself and all that stuff. But you need to just give as much as you can to your child, because you don't want them to grow up wanting, in the sense of not even like materialistic things, but like time and energy and the ability to do something with their life. You got to give it to them yourself.
So what advice would both of you give, or like your life scenarios? What advice would you give, like from your both upbringings? Like, what would you not change, but what would you carry from growing up? What would you carry on to your relationships, or when you do get in that situation, when you do have kids, and your upbringing for your kids, if you do have kids in the future?
Nah, I wouldn't change anything, because obviously everyone's upbringing is unique.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, everyone get into different situations, etc. But I feel like for me, what I would just like pass on to my kids, etc., just always just basic manners and respect. I think that's what's most important. Like, everyone needs that. So yeah, that's what I'll take on with my children.
What about you? Just what would you not change, but like what advice would you give?
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything because kind of what Kwame's saying. Like, if I didn't go through what I went through at the time, I wouldn't be me. Like, my other brother and sister who are older than me, obviously my dad was in jail for them as well, but they was already kind of older. You know what I mean? So no one's kind of felt it at that age. My other little brother was young, like a baby, and my other sister and brother was older. So everyone's different. So I feel like without that, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I've got to be grateful that I still had two parents there. Do you know what I mean? At one point.
But what advice would you two give to, like, all right, young parents then? Because since we're talking about just upbringing,
well, I think Niall will be best at that.
What advice would you give to, like?
I kind of already said it, kind of thing. Just like give as much as you can give. Obviously, some people can give a lot more than others, but you need to try to put your child in the best position to kind of succeed. And I know, like I said, it's harder for some people than others. Yeah. Depending on like your support network and where you are financially and whatnot. Because life's hard. Let's be honest. Life's not easy. If we're being honest, life's not easy, and having a child is not easy. But if you know that you're putting in 100% every day to try and like benefit their life in a positive way, then you're doing something right. Yeah, that's what I'll say, really. For you, I'm gonna ask, like, what's like 3 things you've like learned from, obviously, like you're saying, your mum, obviously from whatever parents in the household.
What I've learned from my mum, the main thing is never give up. It's like, cause she's gone to uni with 2 kids. Like she's had me and my little brother. She's gone to uni. She's achieved stuff that, as a single parent, I would have thought was impossible. You know what I'm saying? She's gone 2 jobs. She's gone uni. So she's made me from a doubter into a believer. Like, if you put your mind to anything you want, like now I've put my mind to this podcast, like you can do it. I think that's the main thing. And to love, I think that's another strong thing my mum showed. Just even when you're going through the toughest times, just love will always be, like, if someone loves you for you, I think that helps just your morale, just that helps you as a person, your self-esteem. And I feel like another one is just caring. Like, obviously we always just think parents care, but I think when my mum was caring for me when I needed it most, and at the time my mum was by herself, do you know what I'm saying? So she might have needed that care, but then she's given me her whole, and I think they're the 3 main things: love, care, and just have a good support system as well.
What about you? Are you asking me?
Yeah, I asked a question.
So you're asking me 3 things
that you feel like you learned from your household, like from your mum or your dad.
I'd also say never giving up. Just because, like, I just feel like that's what you need in life. You need that mentality. Yeah. You need to never give up on your dreams or anything you want to do. Anything's possible. So that's first thing. I'll say discipline. I feel like everyone needs that. Just the way you carry yourself, the way you talk to people, punctuality, everything. I feel like discipline's important. And number 3, you know what it is, I'll probably stick with them too.
Love, caring, just like...
Love, caring?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. Obviously, that's just normal, I feel like.
It's not though, because some people
don't really caring.
There you go, from growing up, so obviously it's different.
Obviously everyone has.
So you're telling me you wasn't loved?
I wasn't loved?
I'm just asking because you know what I'm saying, you didn't say it.
Nah, I was loved still. I believe I was loved.
Fair enough.
Was you the favourite child?
Was I the favourite child?
Yes. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I didn't know you was in my family.
I think William.
Nah. I'd say I'm my dad's favourite.
You got more fufu in it.
You got more fufu. You can't join it. Fufu can't join it.
But you know what it is, yeah? I'd say I'm my dad's favourite though.
You think?
Yeah,
I don't think.
He's on your dinner table, innit?
I don't get it. But I say I'm my dad's favourite. Obviously, some of my relatives won't be happy about that. Yeah. But I just feel like.
What, your mum?
My mum?
Yeah. Do you think you're her favourite?
I don't think I am. Not taking anything away from her, because she probably loves all her children equally. Do you know what I'm saying? But
I do believe that the parents kind of like
they've got a favourite kid. Yes.
I think.
I feel like they do. Yes. Yeah. Obviously, it's hard for them to show it because it's like you've got to treat everyone equally, and it's never going to be an issue because, like,
they're never going to show it to the point of like a favoritism
like thing. Do you know what I mean?
But I think you get on with
Yeah, like I
100%.
think your parent gets on with like your mum or dad gets on with that kid just the best.
Better.
Yeah.
Like
More like
there's
obviously
no
like,
arguments, there's nothing. There's just everything just free
Everyone's
flowing.
got different personality traits. Like no one's the same, innit?
Yeah,
Like your
100%.
personality trait might just get on better with that parent.
And that's 100%. Like, yeah, for me, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm different in my family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm different. In terms of even
Right.
things that I follow. Like, for example, like both my brothers went to uni. I didn't go uni. Just I feel like I'm not the odd one out. But
this is a good question then. So, do you feel like that is to do with your upbringing in the sense of not upbringing at home, but upbringing of like your
My
social?
surroundings.
Yeah. Because your time difference of when you were growing up is different to the time difference as your brothers were growing up in it. So obviously, like you've probably learned different things from who you was around, where you was around. You know what I'm saying? Say
yes and no, because from young, obviously, I've always been chasing football.
yeah.
So it's like, obviously, everyone in my house loves football, from my mum to my little brother, everyone.
Yeah.
All support different teams. But I feel like my two older brothers, they loved football, they loved playing it, but I don't know if it's because my dad was more onto them about like education, uni, etc.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just something they followed. For me, I don't know, I just had my dream and I just stuck on it. So it's like, obviously no disrespect to him, but no one can tell me different. So
Disrespect to who?
my dad.
Oh.
But yeah, so for me that's it really. So that's why I'd say I'm a little bit different in that sense.
What about you? Because
E.g. what?
like your brother's got a different upbringing to you, so do you feel like that's because the people you grew up with, or it's just like from the young age it's that you've just had that mindset of just football? Because
My brother was football as well though.
yeah, but like different.
He's a different personality
Yeah.
to me, a different character to me, but like our goals have always probably been in line in the sense of like football. Obviously my dad liked football as well, and I feel like my dad pushed us to like be like strong. Like even when we were young, we might be like 6. Even my younger brother's 6 now. He's in the gym doing press ups and sit ups and squats. Like my dad's got a boot camp. Like we built like different in it in the sense of like it's just hard work. Obviously, they don't push you to the like to you maxed out or whatever. But it's just the thing that like you lot can do it if you put your mind to it. You can go and get fit. You can stay fit. You can maintain it. Like he prides himself on like gym and physique and being healthy and being fit. So he's always put that in there. So we're always gonna do something sporty in it, athletic. We're always gonna be athletic. So that's what my brother and I have in common. What we have different is like surroundings, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like I was like more of a street baby than he was, I'd say. Like in the sense of like I grew up like at the rec, if you know that. Obviously at a park, playing football on the concrete, like riding BMX. Like that's what man used to do in it. Like when you were younger, like being in the park. I don't think he was as much like that.
Oh,
personally.
So that's different then, innit?
Yeah, so it changes how you are as a person because like you surrounded around with different people, you got different experiences and stuff like that, different environments. So I feel like anything like is gonna change you as a person, got different characteristics in it.
Okay. What about you? Like,
Me.
what was your like surrounding like? Do you think like it affected you? Or?
Yeah, because I think my surroundings, because I've grown up in several different areas. I think obviously I grew up in High Hills, and obviously that turned me into a different sort of person.
What person grows up in High Hills?
Huh? Oh, it just turned me to a different sort of person to where I am now. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, High Hills, I was outside every day just playing, and then I grew up, and then obviously I'm up in near Horsforth now. So it's
what's the difference between like them two areas? Like in the sense of like growing up in both of them is like one loud, one quiet.
Yeah, like High Hills is very loud for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously, I was out till late in High Hills. You know what I'm saying? About 10, 11 at them ages. I'm like 11.
How old was you?
About 10, 11. Obviously, I don't think I should have been out at them late ages. You know what I'm saying? It's like I needed a bit reeling in. But then obviously when I've moved up to near Horsforth, obviously it's a bit different, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like
quieter.
A lot quieter.
Yeah,
probably better
baked
for me,
off.
innit? Baking off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yeah.
So when you grow up, it's a bit different, and obviously I didn't really want to be out. My mum didn't really want me to be out until about 10, 11.
Would you say like, I don't know, like if you had your dad around?
I think it'd have been different.
No, in the sense that like, if he said, "All right, cool, be home at 8," you think you would have had that more? Not saying you didn't have respect for your mum, but Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I would have had less like leeway if my dad was around, because like it's like with your mum you can always like play like, oh cool mum, I'm gonna be back at 11, it's alright. You can always just like sugarcoat with your mum, but your dad, it's just like I don't think you can sugarcoat the same way.
I was gonna say I disagree with that, you know. Like with me and my mum, like my dad, obviously seeing my dad raise my little brothers, my dad's strict. Like strict, I think. He's very cool guy, but he's strict. Like he's got his principles and he sticks to it, which is good, innit? But with my mum, it's like she knows, like you're trying to say, I could do that a 15-minute more minute, but then you need mutual respect when you kind of be like a young person getting like a bit of leeway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously, with her, it was like she was letting me out to say 9 o'clock. If I took the piss and stayed out till 9:30 and didn't tell her, then I just know you're not gonna give me the same leeway next time. You know what I mean?
You get your one strike.
You get your strike. So you come back at 9 o'clock to show her that I'm responsible enough to go out, have my fun, come back uninjured, come back with both my hands and nothing stupid's happened, and I come back on time, and then she respects me enough to give me another. The next time she might say, you know what, start till 9:30. Oh, you wanna go to that party? Yeah, you go to that party. You know what I'm trying to say? And it builds like that. You gotta just show them, innit?
So, when did you move to Horsforth?
Them sides, I moved them sides when about 11, 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, I think it's different. I think the area you're from plays a big role as well. For example, I think if I grew up in Horsforth with just my mum, I think I'd have looked at things differently than just growing up in like a place like Hells. No disrespect to Hells, obviously everyone grows up somewhere, but I just feel like because my mum was a single mum at times, and it's just like I'm out at them young ages until about 10, 11. It's just like, and she doesn't know how to reel me in, and my dad wasn't there. I think it's hard, but I think because where we are now, it's like a lot quieter. Like the neighbours are a lot more friendly. I think like my mum can just just take a step back and think, Prince is probably
like it's all right for you to just go out to a late sort of thing now.
Yeah, I think because
she trusts you more.
Yeah, she trusts me more. Like I think she'd have trusted me more back then as well if I grew up in Horsforth. But
so I was gonna ask you then, obviously, because your brother's kind of grown up in Horsforth, do you feel like she's more lenient with him? Than
a lot more lenient, because I think the people he surrounds himself with, the ages I surrounded myself with, are very different. I think they've had a different upbringing. Like most of them have had like two parents as a household. I think with just mine just being a single parent. Pardon?
Was you getting in trouble like from a young age?
A bit, yeah. I was in and out of trouble from a young age. I know it wasn't the best, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like
what type of in trouble? What type of in trouble was you getting? I can ask it.
What type of trouble would you get yourself into?
Oh, smashing windows, knock a door run, stuff like that. When you're young, you know what I'm saying? When you're young, you do some stupid stuff like that.
But let's go. Sorry about that. Sorry. Do you know people down south call knock a door run knock down ginger? Have you ever heard that?
No, I've heard of it.
That's mad. And if you are from down south, make sure you come and speak to me about.
Because that's weird. That
you know what I'm saying?
Couple man saying. Obviously, I'm saying to a man, "Oh, knock a door run in it." They're like, "What's that?" I'm like, what you on about? You knock the door, you run. It says it in the thing in it, self-explanatory. Man, I'm like, oh, you mean knock down ginger? I said, who the hell's ginger?
Yeah.
Who's ginger? These southern people are mad, you know. Well, we'll talk about that anyway.
Anyways, thank you for today from PrincesPoddy from Live and Direct. Thank you for today from PrincesPoddy Live and Direct. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for the previous feedback from the first 2 episodes from me. Peace.
Yeah, man. Pay not out.
Yeah, man.